Feel a bit torn about today. I'm on my way into Bristol to watch the Bristol Triathlon, not race it. And the reason I feel torn is because one of the main reasons I started these videos 3+ years ago was because it was supposed to be a year-long project of preparing to race the Bristol Triathlon in whatever it would have been. Can't remember what year it was, 2018, 19, I don't know. And sort of getting myself fit and healthy mentally and physically to race it well. So there are two bits of that, racing the Bristol Triathlon and racing it well. Well, this is the first year since I started the videos that the Bristol Triathlon's actually happened. So that's one element. I could have raced it. I had an entry. Tough Runner were incredibly generous and gave me a spot on this race because they know how much it meant to me to do this. But the flip side of it, I think, is probably more important, and that's the being fit and healthy to do it. And I'm not. So I'm going to go and watch it because I love this race a lot. I love where it is. I love everything about it, and loads of my friends are racing it. So I want to go and watch it. I want it to be a motivation to kind of keep going over this next year. I've had a good week. I'll talk about that after we've looked at some of the racing. No, come on, you got this. And so that was Bristol Triathlon 2021. It finally ran. Felt a bit weird not being on the start line, but it was odd being a spectator as well. I thoroughly enjoyed every minute of walking around. It's such an amazing location to have a race. Tough Runner did a fantastic job of organising it, and the little tweaks they did to the race from how it was previously run worked really, really well indeed. I can't wait to be on the start line next year, and all the athletes that took part, well done to all of you. Lots of names of friends that I know in the top 30, which I'm really chuffed to see, but just loads of my friends racing around. Fantastic course. I will definitely see you on the start line next year. Now, if you are new to the channel and you've only come here to see the Bristol Triathlon stuff. That is the end of that stuff. I'm going to go on to something different in a minute. But in the meantime, I do make weekly videos, sometimes 2, 3 a week about triathlon. So if you do fancy hitting the subscribe button and notifications bell, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment if you're new to the channel and you race Bristol. Let me know how you got on. But from here on in, I'm very briefly going to talk about how my week went in preparation for getting my act together. These are my notes. These are the bits and pieces that I write down as I go along each week with the goals that I set last week. I'm not going to bore you to death with them because, you know, it only really means anything to me, I guess. But the plan was to do the 2 swims. Well, I did the 2 swims. The first one was at Masters on Monday night, and we did loads of hypoxic kind of efforts, which was kind of useful actually in terms of one of the other goals that I had set. And then on Wednesday night, probably one of the nicest swims, or weirdest but nicest swims I've ever done, down at the Lido in Portishead. Got there early evening, and by the time we got in the water it was almost pitch black. Had to change my goggles for some lighter goggles to swim outdoors. Sun was setting, fantastic, really good once again to swim with some friends. Did my 2 20-minute runs, nothing to report about those really. It was just running for 20 minutes, nothing special there. Now the bike was the next goal. Now yeah, pretty much failed on this. It was the worst of all the goals that I'd set myself. I had 4 hours down. Now there's loads of reasons, loads of excuses for this, but they are things that I need to overcome and try and get my head around. First of all, I just didn't plan my week out. First week back at university was pretty chaotic, so I only managed to get 35 minutes in on the turbo trainer, but I did enjoy those 35 minutes. It's the first training that I've done in the area that's behind me here. Behind that wooden panel, you can see there is another area like this where I've set up my turbo trainer. So it was nice to get on the turbo in there and actually do a little bit of training in there. However, I need to plan my week a little bit better than it's been so far, so to try and get those hours up. 5 fruit and veg every day, nailed that, no problem at all. It's super easy. The only day I wasn't so sure about was Saturday. I couldn't keep track of it, but I'm pretty sure I ate 5 fruit and veg. The rest of it's easy. Next one was being sober. Been sober now for exactly a week, and yeah, definitely feeling the differences there. Do I lose a kilo a week? Yeah, exactly a kilo actually. I lost exactly 1 kilo this week, so that's all going well. The 7 hours sleep thing, that's an interesting one. It really varied. My average, according to my Garmin, and who knows how accurate they really are, averaged around 7 hours and 19 minutes sleep per night. But I know for a fact that that's probably a bit skewed because we went to bed really, really early one night. Me and Bex were absolutely shattered. Went to bed at about 9 o'clock. The kids couldn't work out what was going on because they were going to bed at the same time as us. Really freaked them out. So it's a bit skewed. And then about 3, maybe 4 nights a week, I'm kind of waking up at like between 2 and 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I think it's just settling into the new house still. Got loads of stuff going around my mind. So that's going to be one of my main focuses, alongside partitioning the time off to spend on the turbo, because they're big blocks of time. Also going to do a little bit of research on sort of how to get a better night's sleep, not just a longer night's sleep, but I kind of want to do that thing where I go to bed at 10, 10:30, sleep right the way through to 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. And the apnea thing, my breath holding thing I was talking about last week, did a couple of swims that had hypoxic elements to it, which was cool. I did a couple of training sessions, but probably not enough. But I did find a lovely spot just before I did the Lido swim at Portishead to chill out and do a bit of a training session on my way to swimming, and just enjoy looking up at the trees and doing the breath holding stuff. So far so good. If I could just work on the bike stuff and get the time up on that, and work out how I can get a full night's sleep, that's the next bet. That's it. I'm going to talk about some more interesting stuff next week, because 6 weeks of me rattling through a green piece of paper with goals and stuff on it's not going to be very interesting for you guys, but I will keep track of how I'm getting on with those things. For now, that is it for this week. Thoroughly enjoyed Bristol Triathlon. Like I said earlier, if you haven't subscribed, do hit the like button and the subscribe button and the notifications bell. It does make a difference if you leave a comment as well. It'd be nice to meet anyone on here that's a new person that watches these videos but maybe doesn't leave a comment. It would be really good to hear from you. I always hear from the same people, and that's lovely, but it'd be nice to hear from some new people from time to time. Have a good week, train hard, and I'll come back at you with a new video very soon.